Hello folks, welcome to another vacuum in my huge haul series, my big palette series. Eagle-eyed viewers will notice the Turbo Master behind me. I can't wait to get these open, so I'm just getting through it. But to give you the illusion that I'm recording on a different day, I've changed my socks. There we are, look. Sock fans, look. I've changed them to red, and you'll see why in a minute. This is a Hoover Alpina. You saw a glimpse of this in the first video, if you've watched that. So this is made in EC. I think these were also made in Cambuslang, Scotland. So it's an Alpina 1400 in red Rot Rouge. It's an SC211. I was really pleased that this is a red one, because I do have two green Alpinas. They look the same, but they're different model numbers, they're slightly different dates. So I would have been a little bit disappointed if I'd got another of the same green. So when I saw it was a red one, I was pleased. I'm also doubly pleased that somewhere in the garage is another Alpina, and I think that's white. So yet another different model, so I'm really chuffed. So, now I'll take the cleaner out first, actually. Take the cleaner out. There was a little bit of an issue with the furniture guard, if you remember. I didn't even think to look. Well, I was too excited, to be honest. Here's the tools. Wait, do you know what I was thinking? It would have been far too good to be true. But I was thinking, oh, wouldn't it be fantastic if there was a Sensortronic in that palette? I mean, even the latest Sensortronic from the 90s, the white one that they kept going. Oh, I would have absolutely wet my knickers, literally. But being in the garage, it would have been okay if I'd done that. Wouldn't have had to get the old Bissell out. Right, let's reveal. Little bit scuffed there, I think a bit of polish. You know, I'm still over the moon so far, and I'm just scratching the surface. Let's zone down a bit, move the camera, and we'll open up the box of tools first. So here we are, I've just had a quick glimpse at the Alpina. It doesn't have a power takeoff socket. I do actually have one with an electrical power takeoff socket for a power nozzle. And the one that was provided at the time, well, didn't provide, it was an optional extra, I think is more or less the same one that you used to be able to get with earlier SIBO cylinders. I haven't been able to find one of the Hoover ones, but they may still be available. Right, here we go. Hoover Alpina, user instructions. Oh, what's this? Oh, look. Oh, your guarantee, functional parts only. That puts a bit of a dampener on it. But then, you know, I did notice when I was looking at them, they said, I think this, it might have been this one, or I don't know, the Aria, there was a tape, it was taped saying nearly new. Some had graded written on, not graded, range 4, which is basically a graded machine, so not quite factory fresh. There was maybe some marks. Anyway, I think it'll be okay. One bag supplied. There should be one fitted, and non-reusable now. So it fits the Alpina Sensortronic, the boxy Sensortronic, compact Elite Vogue, and Aria. An Aria will be coming up. I did have an Aria in that palette, much to my surprise. So that was a nice thing. I've not looked at the Aria. This will benefit, this telescopic tube, which is very heavy, will benefit from a bit of metal polish. I've got some Peak metal polish. I recommend that one. Oh, that's alright though. Just felt a little bit grainy. I just think it's just dusty. Well, my hands are starting to go black. But that is smooth. Look at that. Oh. See, they use this locking ring system for quite a while. I mean, this was introduced, the first time I saw the locking ring system was with the first generation Sensortronics. The French-made Hoover suction cleaners had this type of system, the locking ring. Also the cleaning tools, this was introduced to the cleaning tools. Also the Hoover Freedom had it, you know, they started introducing that when they phased out the old-fashioned, well not the old-fashioned, the one that went for the pip fitting. Well, they still have pip fittings of tools, but it has the locking ring instead of the catch that you got with the earlier Hoovers. So that's good. Little bit of a leaflet about your bags and an order form. You can buy a pack of 10 disposable bags for £8, which includes VAT, post and packaging. And you send this off to Bury, that address. Bury, or Buried, Bury I think I pronounce it. Anyway, Bolton is where Hoover had their spares department, and I was forever, pre-internet days, I was forever writing them long lists, well, typing on my electric typewriter. I remember, I've still got copies of them actually, and I'll do a video of all my Hoover correspondence one day. And I used to know the woman by name on the trade counter. I've forgotten it now, but I used to address it to her. Write a list from the Hoover service manuals, which I had loads of. Write a list of the model, the part number, how much they were, what they were, the total, and I used to say, are these available still, blah blah, and I used to get a letter back saying, normally she used to send the letter back and tick if they were available, and she'd write discontinued next to them if they weren't. So then I would get it back through the post and then see what was available, then I'd put an order in. And it's taking me back, I'm getting all emotional. I've forgotten, you forget these things until you start sort of reminiscing. Oh, it's got one of those. It's got one of those boring nozzles. I thought it might have one of the different nozzles, but never mind. Oh, I'm not going to be too moany. There's another little list here of telling you about what part numbers for bags, for the filters as well, carbon filter, secondary filter, air freshener, spring bouquet. No. Oh, it doesn't have... Oh, what's that? Oh, I've just seen something. Ooh. I've just realised it doesn't have the air freshener. They are very hard to get hold of, the air fresheners for the Alpina, because they worked differently. They were hard, but actually I have an Alpina that I'm not showing you that did come with the air freshener, and they're made of a hard plastic as opposed to the flexible, bendy, rubbery plastic with the old, the Turbo Power, Turbo Master type air freshener. Now, they made them a harder plastic because the air freshener on this model was fitted in the exhaust air, which was hot. So obviously, if you put the old type air freshener in, it would distort and melt, because the old type air freshener was in the cold part of the airstream. Although, yes, in some ways, some parts it was in the cold when it was pre-motor, but like in the uprights, I suppose the air that came was warm, but it wasn't hot like it would be in a cylinder. Anyway, some of you will know what I'm talking about. Here is nozzle end and handle end with your little suction relief. And, ooh, I don't want to pick that up. I'm going to show you what I've seen in a minute. Oh, it's bringing back memories of the Junior I boxed from Rusty's Skull when I found one of his personal hairs. Well, this seems to be somebody's, well, all of their personal hairs in one clump. I'm not, well, yes I will, well I won't open it now. I don't, yeah, I'm not sure. This is not going to be offered for sale because there's only 2 Alpinas and they're both different, and I'm pleased to have them. So I'll just show you it through the polythene. It's a decent nozzle because it's a metal base plate. There was a different variant of this which didn't have a pedal, which I believe I've seen it on early Dysons, the cylinders on a DC02, was it? If you know what that looks like, the Alpinas, one of the Alpinas came with that sort of nozzle. I might have shown that, I don't know, because I showed you some Alpinas in one of my Advent videos, the leaflet videos. Not sure if that featured that nozzle. Ooh! Oh, God, look at that! Oh, look at that. I don't know what that is or where it's come from. It's got some... Oh, it's got some gold. It's got some nasty, nasty things in it. Oh, that was horrible. Oh, oh, it sends me shivers. Oh. Now, the Alpinas were always very creaky when they turned off. You know, you felt like the plastic expanded when they got warm and they contracted. And my Panasonic Icon's like that. It makes some funny noises after I've used it for a few minutes with the plastic sort of contracting, I think. So here it is. I like it in red. Very smart. Short and stubbly is the name of the game for that one. Now you have to put it down pip first. Pip first because it's got a little indentation. Ah, look. Pretty standard to find that on older cleaners. The distorted brushes of the dusting brush. I'll move that out of the way, you can't see what I'm doing. Give you a bit of a plainer background, that's better. I still can't get used to this camera. You go one way and oh, I don't know. Anyway, look. Bit of a soak in some hot water, and that will normally go back to how it should be. Wish my hair would go back to how it should be with a bit of a soak, but there is a way of getting hair back. I'm not. It sounds very gross. Oh, I don't know if that seems to be slightly used. I'm not sure. There is a therapy that's going round at the moment, and it's used for all sorts of things. And one thing this therapy can be used for is supposedly regrowing hair. But this particular therapy can also be taken internally. I'm not saying what it is. Put two and two together. I believe Madonna and certain other celebrities do this. All I'll say is it's drinking something that you wouldn't really think to drink. But a lot of people swear by it. And apparently if you put this substance on your scalp and leave it on, even leave it on to dry, apparently it won't smell and you'll get your hair back. So if you ever see me with a full head of hair again, as long as it's not a wig, you'll know what I've been putting on my scalp. The things I come out with when I'm showing you a vacuum, well, oh dearie me. Right, that is, oh, I don't want to try and push it through. And let me just look at the motor. The motor looks clean and rust free. Just trying to push the oh, it comes out, look. This one, this is slightly used. There is very slight use. You can see, look. Look. So not quite minty factory fresh. Look, I expected this. I wasn't naive to think when I put my faith in buying that palette. I knew that I was not buying a load of perfect factory fresh mint vacuums. I knew I wasn't. So, but still, it's pretty good. Now here's the doodah. Did I show you that? No, I didn't. I was too busy talking about getting my hair back. There's a little thing that you carry. You lift that out. It doesn't seal itself, but there is a flap that comes, you know, you can fold it over. You pull that off there, look, with your fingers. And then you dispose of that. And that sits back in there. But there's a little fail-safe. Obviously, pretty standard, isn't it? Stops you closing the bag door until you've fitted the bag. And that goes like that in there. There we are. There is a date. They didn't do date wheels. This has got a date grid. You see, I'm no good at looking at things. You see, I've got contact lenses in, and if I go too close, I can't see anything. I need to have no lenses in. It's definitely a 90s. Obviously, it's a 90s. I can't see that, folks. Could be 96. I'm not sure. So, this has had a bit of use, but not much. Here's the exhaust. That's probably where the air freshener might actually be fitted. So that might be a charcoal, because it looked like it was a charcoal filter pre-motor. And that could be charcoal, possibly. Can't really smell. It is, there's a little bit of loose plastic. That, well, that will blow out. Actually, I might just turn it on with that, with the filters off, because there's a bit of plastic in there that needs to be removed. Here's the exhaust filter. Well, it's not been turned on for long, has it? Because they soon start to go black after a very short period of time with the carbon dust. This is where the air freshener fits, and it's got three holes in it, the air fresheners for these, 3 prongs, and as I said, it's a hard plastic, because this is right in the exhaust. So obviously the exhaust that comes out of a vacuum, especially a 1400 watt, no, 1400 wasn't excessive, was it? Not compared to the ones we got. Kept creeping up, but it will still come out warm, and that's no good for the old type air fresheners. Now these, it's got a plug on it, a little bit of, often get that with new cleaners, the polystyrene is stuck to it. It's got the Hoover thin cable, a thin flat cable. I think they did that in order to fit more cable on. I think this has a reasonable cable length. I think it's about 8 metres. You see, by now they've got the flex rewinds a bit better. I'm hoping it's going to be okay. And as you can see, we've got your variable speed on the one I've got, which I've made the video ages ago, and it's still sort of in my private folder, ready to go. But there was problems with the filming of it, and I don't know whether I was going to show it. But it's knocking on probably 3 years old. But the other one I've got is tropical green, and it's got a dial. This one, you've got slide control, and you've got your piston bag check indicator. I'll start it off on low power, and of course you've got your 2-foot pedals on off, a little bit scuffed. Oops, and of course that's the flex rewind. Oh, and here's your parking, well, yes, your parking bracket or slot there. I haven't shown you the back actually, have I? And you've got your storage slot there. You've got two, there we are, 2 swivel casters, 2 wheels at the back. Oh, here we can see, it says genuine Hoover made. I'm not bothering zooming in. Well, I will do actually. Let's have a look at this. Here we are. I'll try and hold it still. Hoover SC211 serial 37649076 98040527. So the PCEE, whatever that means, 1200 to 1250 watts. P max 1350 to 1450. Yes, it does say 1450. Don't know if we can quite see on here. I'm not sure if it's picking it up. Can you just about see over the top? It's embossed, genuine Hoover made. This will just, I'll just polish this. Whoops. I'll polish this with some auto glim car polish. I forgot to answer him. It was a while ago on Twitter. One of my Twitter followers asked me what I did to shine up vacuums. I've mentioned it before on a few videos. But I use Auto Glim car polish. It is fantastic. And it's something I used to do, thinking back, I used to do it years ago with like turtle wax. But in those days, the car polish was really hard, especially if you're using it on a car. You know, it went on fairly easily, but you were rubbing forever. Do you remember the old days of the car polish? You were rubbing forever, and it was this chalky film all over everything, and you daren't do it when there was sunlight on your car because it would bake on and would be very hard to remove. So obviously I washed and polished and vacuumed my dad's cars throughout the years for extra money, extra pocket money. But the Auto Glim you get now goes on much easier. Also the old-fashioned car polish, if you got it on textured plastic, you'd never get it off. You'd have to, you know, use a detergent and try and get it off. And that was the same with textured plastic on my, yes, on the vacuums, not just on a car, on the bumpers and things. So often there was detections of, well, that's not the right word, but anyway. I digress. Right, when I turn this on, I'm just leaving it'll be a bit noisier without the cover on, but I just wanted hopefully that little bit of plastic left over from the factory. Oh, my feet have gone to sleep. Oh, hopefully that'll blow out. Now it might turn on. I'm hoping it will turn on, but it might turn on now when I flick the wall switch. It hasn't. Right. I think with this one, just to be safe, because it has had some use and there was that writing in the instruction book, functional parts only, I'm just moving it a bit away from the camera. I don't want the exhaust vent to sort of go on the microphone and do things, so I'm going to turn it on here. Ooh, pins and needles! Sounds a little bit different, but then the cover's off. Hang on, it didn't come out, look. Oh, I've got it out anyway. There's another bit. I'll just get another vacuum. Well, in fact, I could get this vacuum. What am I saying? I could get this vacuum and do the unthinkable. This hose looks like it could do with a bit of a wash. Hang on. There we are. Do the unthinkable and use... Ooh. I won't say I've had a really dirty thought. Right, I'll just see if I can suck that little bit of plastic shard out. Oops, no it won't. Oh, I don't think it's going to matter. I think it's stuck. Yeah, did you hear the creaking? That's normal. This should dull the sound a bit. The power of silence, these were sold under the tagline of the power of silence. Certainly not. They certainly weren't silent. And do you believe... I actually wrote to Hoover when I bought one of these and complained that they weren't silent. I knew they wouldn't be silent, but I thought they'd be quieter than they were. Creak, not bothered about the creak. I've never had an Alpina that didn't creak. I think that sounds okay. You've got to remember that we don't know how long that this machine has been, wherever it's been, unused. We don't know. But, to be honest, I think these have probably been stored somewhere better than that other place I get the new but old vacuums from on eBay. It's, yeah, I think, as I said, a bit of car polish and that will be more or less as good as new. Oh, hang on, I've left something out, folks. I don't think this would have made any difference to the sound. Might have made it a tiny bit quieter. Oh, I must remember, I keep forgetting when I do these to get my decibel meter out, because, you know, they never showed the decibels. So the one that David kindly bought me, I must remember to do that. Let's rewind. Whoops, come on. I knew it would get tangled up. There we are. That goes in there at the back, look. So, there we go. All in all, slightly used. I can see a white dog hair on there. But all in all, that's another successful. Is that awful thing still there? Oh, it is. That awful. There, look. I'm going to get another vacuum and pick that up before I unbox anything else. I'll do another one, I think, today, and then that'll be it. I've got to start clearing up and I need to go in the garage later tonight and have a bit more of a sort out of what I've got. But it'll be another busy day tomorrow, having a look through what I've purchased. So that's it from the Hoover Alpina 1400. Thanks for watching. Question below if you've got any questions for me. And please thumb up. And please subscribe if you don't do so already. Don't forget, click on the little bell icon by the subscribe button and you'll be notified immediately as soon as I upload a new video. If I decide to upload a random one at a different time, you should get a little email saying Ibasiak has uploaded so and so. There we go. From the Hoover Alpina and Mr. Ibasiak, it's goodbye, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye for now.